Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Tiny habits, tiny tools, tiny adjustments. They can completely transform a dog's comfort. Today, we're exploring the small things owners overlook that make a big difference in your dog's daily life. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. It is wonderful to be back on with you both today. Now, let's dive into this topic. How can small things impact your dog's comfort and overall quality of life?
Well, let's say it's the little things, right? All of those little things just add up, as they do in our regular life. Owners tend to focus on the big things, the food, the exercise, the vet visits, are we current on our shots? But it's often the very small, everyday details that make the biggest difference on how your dog feels.
Yeah. And comfort isn't just one big decision. It's hundreds of little ones.
So let's start with the most obvious for me and the most easiest, I think, to keep up with,
Yep.
which is nails. Nails matter more than you think.
Yep.
Long nails that click on the floor, they change how the dogs walk. It's an easy thing that you can visually see and hear. Over time, it can affect if you go long distance. In fact, we had somebody today come in that
And
had a dog that was matted. She knew it was matted. She made no apologies. Just kind of got out of her way. And I said, well, the nails are very, very long. She said, well, they don't feel sharp. Well, they can curve back in
Yeah.
underneath under those pads. And just because they don't feel sharp,
doesn't mean they're not long.
and if it's a fast growing nail, that quick grows with the nail. So, it can affect a lot of things. It can cause infections, it can rip at the nail bed, it can get caught, especially when they're running,
Or in
carpet or
blankets.
rugs. Yeah, all of that stuff. So put extra strains on your joints. That one little thing alone, it can increase slipping on the hardwood floors, which if you've got an older dog or a dog that's got some, dysplasia or some hips or knee issues,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever, almost slipped and caught yourself, but it's painful.
And I've seen dogs that come in with like big long nails
Mhm.
and for nail trim, and you can visibly see them more comfortable after.
Yeah. I think another really easy thing is just, brush a little bit more, especially, um, you know, during the summertime. They're shedding, you've got a lot of hair in your house, so it's just going to help you pick up. But it's another really easy thing. Regular brushing, set yourself on a schedule.
Yeah.
This prevents, tangles and knots from happening later, especially if they're going to be getting wet in that dog park scenario or in your pool or in any kind of a situation where that's going to create that mat to be worse. It improves the airflow to the skin, which will help keep them cooler in hotter heats. Um, it distributes the natural oils on the dog, and it helps you as the owner to find lumps, bumps, cuts that
Yep.
may or may not be there. It's going to help you know your dog's anatomy a little bit
Yep.
better. So,
And 5 minutes of brushing can take away hours of brushing at the groomers.
yes, and save tons of discomfort for all of us.
And fun fact, if you have a really sheddy dog, you can take all that hair and throw it outside. The birds will use it
They will,
for nests.
and you can put it in your garden. We have people that come in and
Yep.
ask for dog hair for gardens. Save it and put it away. Believe it or not, it does keep all the rodents out of your vegetable gardens and
Yep.
things. Kind of a weird thing for hair, but
But you can use it.
yeah, we can't sell it. If I could, we would. um, yeah, is your dog telling you something? It's small dog behaviors. I think we've covered this quite a bit. So, just watch for, irritations, constant licking. This time of year, you can get some hot spots. That licking can create that to be worse. You've got a lot of ants popping up. It's raining and then it's dry. So
Yep.
then get into ant hills. You've got mosquito bites. You tend to be outside a little bit more doing things you haven't done. So just kind of watch and see if your dog is trying to tell you something. I think another really easy thing that is a great preventative is ear cleaning. It's
Yeah.
not hard to clean your dog's
Yeah.
ears. You
I
can
agree.
use a dry paper towel, a cotton ball. You can use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. You can buy any kind of, ear cleaner I like an alcohol based if your dog is in water just to dry that out.
Yep.
But it makes your dog smell good. It makes them look good. you know, they usually like their ears rubbed and tugged on, especially if they've got those big, long, fluffy,
Mhm.
soft ears. So just wipe your dog's ear out. It's going to save you from moisture buildup. It's going to save you from odor, from ear infections, any
Yep.
kind of irritation that you're going to get later. Um, and most breeds, I would say, benefit from ear
Yeah.
cleaning anyway. But that's especially this time of year. You can really smell that. Um, Teeth, I love the teeth spray.
Yep.
It's another really easy little thing. There's that's care for your dog's mouth. You don't
Yep.
necessarily have to be brushing it with a toothbrush and toothpaste, but you can take the dental sprays and they're awesome. You can just
I
spray it right in their mouth.
I use a water additive. I put it in their food every day or their water every day,
And it
and it kinda just helps scrape that plaque off
especially while they're
and freshen
panting.
their
Yeah.
breath.
Like we're panting in your in front of your face,
Gross.
and at least it's not a bad smell.
Yeah.
Comfort isn't just physical, it's basic just training lessons, making sure that your dog listens and behaves so they can go more places. Um, we literally went to an adoption place
Yeah.
yesterday. Tanya's looking for a puppy, and somebody told me that worked there to put my dog in the car and then come back in and look at dogs. I'm like, I
Like,
don't feel
the car is
comfortable
hot.
with that. So, just be aware that a lot of people don't think, so you need to be that person.
Yeah.
Is that physically gonna be comfortable? Like, would you sit in the car and wait
Well, it's all
for me to go look at a dog? Probably not. And nobody's
and mental stimulation helps more than anything.
Oh,
It matters almost just as much as exercise.
yeah.
So those puzzle toys, the sniffle mats,
Frozen
use them.
treats, ice cubes, stick them in,
Yeah.
make it harder for your dog to get, those bones. When you're putting them in the crate when you leave, give them those chew toys that, you can stick the food inside that they can't get it out of or, really make
Yeah.
them work for it. Buying different shapes of toys, that kind of thing, will kind of entice them to chew, which will also help them with their teeth.
And
So
I think I read somewhere that 15 minutes of sniffing is equivalent to 30 minutes of physical exercise.
oh, didn't know that.
Yeah. Random things Tanya knows.
Let's catch up with the lumps and bumps. Summertime again, we've got fleas and ticks. So, you want to be checking your dog frequently for grooming appointments if you can't get in as often.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're on your preventatives and your other things if you're going to be outside more often. But, uh, the broken nails, we've covered weight changes. If your dog is excessively losing weight,
Or gaining weight.
then, either not getting enough exercise or something could be wrong. The heat makes dogs do really different things.
Yeah.
Tiny adjustments can often improve big mobility and confidence, and those are big things for weight for sure.
Yes.
And that brain stimulate will help really well too. I've even made little kind of hula hoops and the dog pools. I've done little outdoor agility things for my dog, which is it. She loves it. It gets her exercise. It gets her out. I mean, I'm also the person that got my dog a whole other puppy, so, she could have a friend because she was getting old and lazy. So so now she has a friend, that has a lot of energy that she feels the need to keep up with. So, I don't recommend everybody go out and get a new dog to keep your dog company, but, it is a if you're thinking about getting a new dog, around the 5 to 7-year mark is often a good time if your dog is well trained, they can
Yeah.
help train your other dog. Um, we're in the mode of looking at puppies right now
Yeah.
for Tanya's dog who lost hurt his
Yep.
dog. So, he just needs, and he's gained how much? 10 pounds
Yeah.
since the loss of his dog.
And
It's
he's a very active dog. I think he's just lonely and he eats more.
So, it's kind of sad. But a puppy does, and when he meets my dog, so he comes out, you get that stimulation. They're
Yep.
learning how to re-talk to another dog, and they're going out. Doggy daycare is a great place for an alternative, place for your dog to get that exercise, in a cool environment where they get that
Yep.
stimulation. So that's another really good, even if it's just an hour or, two, it doesn't have to be an all-day event. Um, Small things that we've noticed during grooming here that end up making huge difference for us, I would say, is the dog's comfort and health. Uh, is that people who take the time to do the little things for us
Yeah.
versus the people who see the big matting solution, the obvious. As I mentioned today, this lady, when I spoke to her about the dog nails, she almost cried in the lobby because she thought that her dog was in pain because we had to go so far back on her and I the dog's nails, and I explained to her that the nails are still really long, but we took more than half off. They were starting to grow back into the pad.
Yeah.
And she was just so upset with herself because she didn't notice it. She didn't notice it because she didn't look. She was going by feel only. So you need to use all of your senses, your smell. Does it smell bad? Does it, these little things that are subtle changes make a big, big
Yeah.
difference. I think.
Yes.
So to recap, I would say really quick brush on their coat.
And check their feet.
Check their paws, check for any lumps and bumps, peek inside those ears, refresh that water bowl frequently, maybe put some of that dental spray or put it in the water.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of one-on-one attention. Those few minutes can improve the comfort, strengthen your bond, and it can even
Yeah.
catch health concerns really early. Those are all things that we do in here on the daily. If you're not able to do that every day with your dog, you know, at least kind of set up a checklist for whoever is.
Well, wonderful insights as always. Thank you both, and we will see everyone back here next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.